Welcome back to the Marky Mark Show. This episode is sponsored by Marcus Mason, myself, my family. I ain't nobody. I ain't got no damn sponsors. We ain't got no commercial breaks. Hopefully, eventually, I put a little commercial on my thing just to waste you guys' time so you have to click skip. But I'm going to try to keep this pod, PG-13. I'm going to try to limit my cursing. That's one of my goals in 2025 is to stop cursing. I want to stop cursing. That's like my main goal this year. Besides saving money, because I spend a lot of money. Um, Not gonna lie, those who know me. It's bad. We're not gonna talk about that, but yeah. So I know a hot topic is my career in law enforcement, so we'll get into that. So I'll try to make it as brief as possible. But those that know me know that I can't do anything briefly. All my stories are long. So man, God, started in the academy in 2017. Great times. That was good knowledge, some hilarious things. Eventually, later on, once I start to get the flow of this and get more equipment and stuff, so I can bring people on, we'll bring some people on and tell some stories. Yeah, some good times. But yeah, graduated the academy and then started off in the jails. Worked in corrections for about 3 years. I worked at every single jail in San Bernardino County. So West Valley. Started off in West Valley. Then about 9 months in, I went and I joined CCU, our centralized classification unit. And so from there, I got sent to High Desert. I worked High Desert. I worked CDC, Central Detention Center in downtown San Bernardino, and I worked Glen Helen as well. It's a list of my assignments, but those were some great times, man. I met some of my boys for life working CCU, so that was a great spot. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and working in the jails, it's crazy how much stuff goes on in the jails that also affects and correlates to outside and the average citizen that's just that doesn't work in law enforcement or is not into gangs and different things like that. You would never know how much stuff is going on. So it's really crazy. Even some law enforcement officers that just been police and never worked corrections, or even some people that did work corrections and just never had like a knack for getting into it. You really don't know how much stuff is really going on in there that really correlates outside. So that's pretty crazy. We can get into some stories like that eventually. I wish once hopefully my boy Art Satterwhite, we sending prayers for you, but I'd love to have him on one day, and we could tell some stories about different situations in there. Man, it was some great times. I don't know if we could tell everything because my boy is still working, so but I can. So maybe I'll tell the stories. I'm gonna redact names and different things like that. But there's some great times. We had no violations or nothing like that. But I don't know if these cases are open because we caught some people up on some good stuff. So. But yeah, so worked corrections for a few years, then boom, pandemic hit, and that was a rough time. Um, yeah, dealing with population management and different things like that, and there's a lot of politics too. Law enforcement, man, it is political, and when higher ups and things change like that, you see how so much stuff changes based on. It's like getting a new GM, working, being on like the Eagles or something. You get a new GM, like stuff might change. Like there might be a lot of stuff that changes, and you don't have any control of it. But I mean, you kind of have to just go with the flow. But still, you gotta, if stuff goes against what and Brad, you got to kind of cater to that and tread lightly because you don't want to get in trouble at the end of the day. But at the same time, you kind of have to do what you're told. So it's kind of tiptoeing that gray area and things like that, of making sure you do the right thing, but also trying to listen to what you're told because you don't want to get blackballed. Different things like that. I mean, you can't just raise your voice and say something. You know, it's certain ways you have to go about stuff when and stuff's really political. So when you're dealing with politics, man, like you got to navigate stuff a certain way. And we can get into that. That would be a whole nother thing. But yeah, from there, um, mid pandemic, as it started, you know, stuff started opening back up. I went out to patrol, did patrol for a while, had a bunch of good cases, man, a bunch of good cases. Got a good amount of guns off the streets. Some good times, man. Wrote good amount of warrants and different things like that. Got to do some UC stuff, tracking some funny stories, man. But yeah, some stuff we probably shouldn't have done. And we didn't violate policy, but it just, you know, wasn't. We didn't do what we were told as far as safety wise, but we didn't want to lose somebody because at the end of the day, we could do it. But some good times. But ultimately, one day, went to work, worked a day trade, and it was just a bad day. You know, I was like, I had plans. I was, oh, I'm gonna work this shift real quick. I'm gonna go on this little cruise. I like cars, so they have like I had a Honda S2000, and they have a S2000 NSX beach meet every summer, and I missed it the past few years because whatever, either a car was messed up or a car was in the shop getting painted, whatever. So I'm gonna work this shift, get off in the morning because it was a graveyard shift, and I'm gonna head straight out to PCH, go to this cruise. I was gonna meet one of my OGs that works for Las Vegas Metro. He was coming out, and so we were gonna meet up and everything. And so I had a whole little plan. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just handle these calls. I'll probably be proactive for a couple hours, and I'm gonna just kick back somewhere, knock my paperwork out, and I'm gonna chill. And I was, I'm gonna just be active till like 2, and then I'm gonna get my paperwork done and just, you know, get ready. I'll probably go check on the car, make sure there's no dust on it. I parked in the underground. You're not supposed to park at the underground in my station. It's like frowned upon. Unless you're like a super OG, then you can kind of get away with it, especially on the weekends. Weekday, nah, you better not be in there. But so, you know, I was I was toting the line, but yeah. So I ended up going to a call. We were real short, so we had 2 vacant beats that night. But yeah, so ultimately went to a call loan, ended up getting into something, and you know, I'll talk about that later. But um, ended up getting shot 4 times total. So my gear caught 2, and then my gear didn't catch 2. One hit my L5 vertebrae, and basically I lost all function below the waist instantly. So thank God for one of my long-term mentors for since I was in the jails. He was out on patrol that day working an overtime shift for a DUI saturation. So him, and he had military experience, and so he had a lot of combat med and experience and things like that. So him and 2 of my other partners, they were close by, thankfully, because they were working that DUI saturation, and I was all the way in the north of the city by myself. And so they got there pretty quick, got me patched up, driven to one of the local community colleges, and I was airlifted to Pomona Valley. So I was there. I couldn't feel my legs. That's a funny story. I got to tell you guys that story. So that'll be a story in itself. So I'll go into that. I gotta probably ask to see if I can get clearance to tell most of that story. But I was, you know, on the brink of death. But like after I was, you know, a couple of days in the hospital and I was feeling better, probably like a weekend. I laughed about some stuff because it was hilarious. Like it wasn't funny in the moment, but like after, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm alive. Like that was hilarious. So I'll tell you that. You guys will probably laugh from some of the stuff. My boy Revelar, he is crazy. So anybody that knows him, he's never serious. But he's always serious, but he's never serious. But he's just one of those guys that no matter the situation, like he's always himself. And man, I love that dude. He saved my life. But yeah, so I got airlifted. I spent, I can't remember if it was like 9 days in Pomona Valley or 11 or something like that. So I just had like compression sleeves on my legs to keep the blood flowing because I couldn't move them. I didn't have any function. So it was just, a task just I had to have two people come for physical therapy to help me out of the bed just to move from the bedside to the commode because I had an abdominal surgery too from one of the rounds that tore up a bunch of my insides. So I had to take out part of my part of my small intestine, my large intestine, part of my colon, patch me all up. So because I had the surgery on like my intestines and all that, they wanted to make sure everything was free flowing. So they're like, man, you got a boo boo, like, or else you can't eat. You got to be constantly passing gas so we know your stuff's functioning. So they would get me up and just to walk and get over to like, with assistance, two big old like I don't know if they're a Filipino, Pacific Islander. These cats is big, so they would help me get up to the walker, and I would basically drag my legs like that damn dog off a Family Guy. Herbert the Pervert's dog. My shit was dead. Like, my legs didn't work, so I get over to the little bedside commode thing, and it was basically like a walker with a toilet seat. And so I'm like, man, I'm about to boo boo in this in front of everybody. And so I had a deputy in there with me. I'm like, man. And then my family, I'm like, man, I'm about to just boo boo in this open room. It's crazy because I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. So I was like, man, I can't boo boo. So it was bad. So we'll get into that. That's a whole nother story. It's funny. So I was there. I probably didn't eat for like over a week. I had like 3 IVs that were giving me everything I needed. So all the nutrients and stuff I needed, I had. Like an IV in this arm, one in my wrist, one in my other arm. So, and they all had different things. And so I was getting that for like however many days. And finally I was able to get liquids. Long story, I'll get into that later. So I did a cool stint there, and then I got transferred to Loma Linda, and I did about 22 days there or something like that in the rehab. So that's when I really kind of got more back on my feet. So I was mainly still wheelchair and just, walking from the room on the walker with assistance. I had gear to keep because I had drop foot, to get me to like the PT room, and they're putting me on these machines, and I got to wear these straps, and it's like I'm dangling in the machine to bring my body weight up to try to get on the treadmill just to walk and move my feet and different things like that. So relearn how to walk and all that. It was a lot of support that was needed from my family. That way my family can come to the hospital to see me, because I also had, at the time, my son was only, I don't even think he was 2 yet. So he wasn't even 2 yet, and they don't let kids under 18 at the hospital, so somebody had to come watch him. So it was cool, like the department and people from my station, like they all volunteered to watch my kids, and so, and they would take turns. That way my mom, my wife, and all them can come to the hospital and see me, and then I had visitors and stuff, so it was cool. Got through all that time. So yeah, so got out of there, ended up getting discharged at the end of like August of 2022, and then yeah, so just was trying to get better. Had another surgery and a bunch of other little procedures and things like that, but and I'll go into more detail on that. Maybe I'll do a full episode of everything and the recovery or whatnot, but ultimately I wasn't able to make it back. So I wasn't able to get back to a spot where I can actually work in enough time, just because I'm gonna have surgery again. So that's another thing. It's political. So it's not like you just, oh, you're hurt, and they could be, oh, we have a job for you. You have to have like your permanent work restrictions and things like that. And I'll get into that on a separate episode. We'll go into all that. But yeah, so basically I ran out of time essentially. So it came time to, between, either financially I take a big loss to go back to the sheriff's department, or I do what's best for me and I medically retire and, figure it out from there. So it was either put a big stress on my family and myself financially, um, and take another year, basically take a year of either loans and different things like that. And it's not the sheriff's department's fault. There's a lot of county policies and things that were written certain ways, and it doesn't benefit people like me. But and and I understand it because those that work in the sheriff's department, we know there's a lot of people that pull finesse when it comes to injuries and things like that. So it kind of messes it up for people that actually really get hurt and need things. So we'll get into that too. So that could be another topic, but that's a whole nother thing. So I'm long-winded. Yeah, but that's a story for another day. So so I had to put in for medical retirement. And, I decided that was best for me. It wasn't like they told me you had to medically retire. That was the decision I had to make for myself and my family to put me in a position, to be able to take care of my family. It was the only thing that really made sense. And I'll explain that in a later episode. See, that's how I get you guys hooked. Now you're forced to stay for another episode, because if you want to hear that story, I'm going to tell in another episode. I'm kind of good at this, I'm leading you guys on. But yeah, so now I'm a free agent. I will not be going back into law enforcement. I have a fractured spine. My body's tore up. I'm in shambles. I'm in my 30s, but my body feels like I'm like 47, 48, probably even older. I'll still beat my pops up though. He can't see me, but anybody can still get these hands. But yeah, so don't think I'm a chump still. Yeah, I'm walking now in the flesh. You see me? Yeah, I can still move, wrestle with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? These hands still work too. My lower body was affected, but these hands weren't affected. So we crashing out in 2025. So don't try me. Just because I was down for a little bit. We'll probably add a little video in there, show me, when I was relearning how to walk and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm here. I'm semi-healthy. I want to say I'm healthy. I'm not healthy, but I'm getting there. So hopefully we'll see. I'll take you along for the journey. But yeah, so that was about my time, a brief history on my time in law enforcement. Yeah. So let me know in the comments what you want to hear about my time in law enforcement. I will go into more detail about my injury, the recovery, navigating with workers' comp, the politics of it. I'll try to, do it as best I can, because some of the stuff, it'll really piss you off, and you get real angry dealing with stuff and things getting denied and things like that, and it really weighs on your mental health. And man, there was times where I would be so angry I couldn't get anything done for the day because I would be so upset. And I'm not the type of person I'm not gonna call straight to the top of things. I try to handle things myself. And I mean, I was raised that way to, try to figure out yourself, and I go through the different avenues. But if I got to hit the red button, I got to hit the red button. And in 2025, I'm hitting the red button. I ain't even thinking twice. So there ain't no go through the other avenues. I'm going straight to, who's going to get it done. So that's where I'm at in my life. I'm not taking no for answer anymore. And I've done it. And, and I've tried to navigate. And that's one thing I learned in life, is that everybody's selfish. So, I give, and, you got to take care of yourself at the end of the day, because people will do you wrong and then try to do you wrong again, even when you try to hash things to the side. But, I always believe in doing what's right, and, yeah, so that's me. Right. All right. Let's get into sports. So yeah, by the way, yeah, I sent y'all put the little teaser that I was starting the podcast, but I was wearing a hat. But now, I had to show you my hair while I have it. My boy Bruce got me looking right. See the little waves. Hopefully you can see my dippers. Let me get a close up real quick. I know you see the dippers. That way my son can look back on this and be like, Daddy, you had hair? Because, boy, my edges, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. My edges is going. I hit like 30 and I don't know, there's medications and all this stuff they got me on. Got my hair just, whew, hairline receding, boy. My hairline, I don't know. I'm about to have that Dracula shit in a second. Excuse my French. I'm trying. 2025, I'm trying. I apologize. But, yeah, it's bad. But I already told my boy, Sadie, if he loses his hair, I'm gonna cut mine off too. You know, I still got it, but supported my boy. I'm gonna cut mine off too, man. So I hope y'all pray for my boy, man. He tough. He gonna make it through this. But yeah, so sports. I'm a firm believer that all kids should play some type of sports. It doesn't matter what it is. It don't matter if it's soccer, football, hockey, baseball, badminton, tennis, wrestling. It doesn't matter. Learning to work as a team and the commitment and time that it takes putting in that and handling different tasks from schoolwork and sports. You build relationships with friends, working together. It's all the different things you need in life because you're never going to be by yourself, even if you run a business. Unless you just, making art and different things by yourself, then that's one thing, but majority of us in life are gonna work for a company or with people, whether you're running a business and you have to manage people. I think it all starts with, being able to talk to people, build relationships, skill building, learning hard work, learning what it takes to, better yourself each day because that's what life is all about. But yeah, I played damn near every sport you could think of growing up. So I played tennis. I was in a golf league, bowling. I bowled. We used to travel to bowl. I used to go to different states to go to tournaments bowling. Skied, snowboarding. I was in a ski league for a second too. So we used to travel a lot to go skiing, go on ski trips with my dad and things like that. So I've been skiing multiple states, Utah, up north here in SoCal, God, Nevada, you name it. But yeah, I've done that. Football, obviously, basketball, I'm trash, but my defense is impeccable. Put me on your pickup team. I don't need to, especially if you're a scorer. I play defense and I pass the ball. You ain't got to worry about me shooting no bull shot. Baseball, I'm cool. I got speed. I'm going to get on base, especially fast pitch. Shout out to the Mafia. You feel me? Baseline Mafia. Chip. I played one season, got that chip, and then somebody tried to chip me, so I had to retire. You feel me? But maybe one day I can come out of retirement. And then, what else? God, wrestling. I wrestled in high school. I'm nice. You don't want to see me. Still to this day, I might have a seizure with my legs. You feel me? But I'm still gonna whoop you. I'm like that. But yeah, I've done everything, and if you don't try, you don't know what you can and can't be great at. So, but yeah, so my best sport was football, and played football. And going to high school, I moved out here, and but I was still playing Pop Warner and Reno Valley. So I was playing in Moval, and then I did 1 year out here. But when I got to high school, all the coaches already knew all the people that played in like Rancho, but I didn't live in Rancho. My dad probably could afford it cheap. Excuse my language, but we'll get into some cheap ass stories of my pops, man. But yeah, that guy right there is Mr. Krabs on everything. But yeah, so I always played I always wanted to play running back. When I was younger, I played a lot of defense. I was knocking blocks off. I was Mark Chancellor. Nobody, you caught the rock and I was coming, boy, you might as well take a knee. Because I was trying to take souls. I was trying to hurt people. I wanted you to feel that hit the next week. I wanted you to know who I was. So I played defense, I played offense, and then going to high school, I was all right. I was already in my running back zone. You feel me? And yeah, so I was serving, and what happened? I went to a camp, and there was this white dude. He was cooking. He was playing running back too, and we was both going crazy. But I was playing safety too, and I was terrorizing people. I was picking off. I was decleating people, sideline pop. I was knocking cats out. But he was cold too at the running back. He was from like Camarillo or something. I don't know. It was crazy, and it was a full contact camp. But long story short, he ended up taking the offensive MVP. They gave me defensive MVP. Um, I felt like I was colder than him at RB, but obviously they didn't think so. But it is what it is. I don't remember Brad's name, but he was cold. I love white running backs and, you feel me, white receivers. Yeah, those my favorite. No Diddy. That kind of sounded crazy, but yeah. So when I got back, told my coach it was like, oh, how camp go? I was like, I was serving, and I was like, but I ended up, I told him the same story I just told y'all. I was like, but I ended up getting defensive MVP. This is that. And they was like, oh, cool. You go in the corner. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, you ain't gonna even let me tote the pill? Like, hand me the rock. I'm gonna show you what I do with the pill. Like, I'm really serious. So from there, they didn't really let me play running back. I got pulled up to varsity my freshman year. We had Marv Jones on the team and all that. It was crazy. We had a solid team. And then that next year, started on varsity at safety. And I would try out for running back every year. My coach would be like, we got a DB that thinks he's a running back. I'm like, man, you keep saying that, and you ain't never seen me tote the pill, bro. Like, hand me the pill and watch me go silly. And then if I'm weak, then say that. But give me the opportunity. So they wouldn't even let me try out. They let everybody else try out. They sent me back with the DBs. So I used to be pissed off, and it used to tear me up. So I used to take it out on the field, but moved to junior year, same thing. We got a DB that thinks he's a running back, so whatever. I'm playing safety. We played my boy BG team. Man, they had this like 6'7" receiver. They hit him on the post. He catch that mug. Damn, they on me like, blah, blah, blah. You got to sink on that quicker. They need help over top. It's big, this is that. We'll get into some film stories too. That's hilarious. So then they run the same play, but they throw the wheel, and the homie got cooked. And because I bit on the post, because bro was wide open. He like 6'7". I thought he was going there. Man, from there, like, it was bad. And then we had a bunch of injuries in the backfield. And so I was like, hey, coach, I told you I played running back. So it was like, man, you don't play no running back. If you want to play running back next week, we're going to play JV if you want to play running back, and we'll see after that how you do. And he didn't think I was going to play JV. He thought I had like an ego or something. I'm like, shoot, suit me up. You're going to give me the pill. I had never played JV, so I was like, toss me the rock, you feel me? So we go out there, we play Chino. Boy, I played probably like a quarter and a half. Them boys gave me the pill first play, 80-yard tub. I'm over there, I'm like, looked at Coach Romo. I'm like, DB that thinks he's a running back, huh? Yeah, I show you what I do. Boom. Next series, toss me the pill again, 70 yards. It's bad. I'm like, I'm eating at this. I already got like 150 yards, 2 tubs. Third series come out, toss me the rock again. I'm tired though. Toss me the rock, I go for 60. They seen enough. I probably played like 7 plays because the ball didn't go to me every time, but I was one and done on them series. So I put up like 200 yards, 2 tubs. You feel me? I was on the sideline before the second quarter was even over. They like, yeah, it's time to rest. You got a varsity game tomorrow. came back, I looked at my coach that used to always tell me, a DB that thinks he's a running back. I'm like, DB that thinks he's a running back, huh? I'm like, hey, Romo, tell him what I just did to these cats. And so from there, they started letting me share the backfield for the rest of the year. But man, my highlight tape was buns. It was half the season was safety, the other half was like running back. So my tape was the most boring highlight film. You can probably find it on YouTube. Please don't look it up though. If you really love me, it's trash. So of course I didn't get no offers. But then your boy, I had to go crazy senior year. I was just playing running back because I told you I was like that. So, your boy was running the 4.3 laser, 4.2 hand time, 4.26 I ran. I should still have the record at the E, you know what I'm saying? But what can you say? But thankfully, my boy Maul, he was getting looks from everywhere, SC, Oregon, wherever. So scouts was coming to see him. And so they would be able to see me. The coaches just slided my tape too. But shout out to Bob for paving the way because he went to Washington State the year before me. So, of course, senior year, I went insane. Your boy was going crazy on everybody. I should have got the MVP, but my boy Techie got it because they beat us. But I went crazier on them than they did on me. But that game was to decide the MVP, and they won, so they gave him the MVP. He deserved it. I deserved it. But you deserved it, bruh, if you watch this. I served y'all, cooked y'all, and they should have gave it to me, but you were definitely deserving of it. I ain't gonna take away from your shine, but yeah, I went stupid. And then I had to wait. Like, all the scholarships were already given out. So thankfully, old boy Bishop Sankey decommitted and went to UW, the ops, and so that opened up a spot for me. They called me, gave me my offer. I probably got my offer in like the beginning of January. Man, I committed, went on my visit like a week and a half later, and the rest was history. I was playing D1 ball, scored my first touchdown at 17, like, was a true freshman, played as a true freshman, and everything was sweet except for his senior year. So we'll get into that story too. Played with Mike Leach. A lot of people loved him. A lot, not so much. So I'll tell some stories about those times too. So I ended up getting blackballed from the university. So we'll get into that. That'll be another pod. So, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. That'd be a good pod. But yeah, some great times. Met some of my brothers to this day that I still talk to and hang out with all the time. So shout out to my boy. Shout out to SF. Shout out to Devontae. Hopefully he'll clear his music so I could play y'all some of his music on the pod. ID, maybe I have those as like one of his songs or something, instrumental on the intro, outro. I know a couple people that got some good music, so we'll do some music takes too, talk about some music. Probably have Benalis on here so we could do a little argument. My boy, the ultra OVO fan, you feel me? So that'd be a good one. But yeah, so went off to college, had a good career. I had the record for about 6 months for most receptions by a running back, and then my boy broke it the next year at ASU. I'm looking at him right now. I can't think of his name. Forgive me, bruh. Forgive me. But yeah, so good times. Played college ball. Played all 4 years straight. Graduated in like 3.5 years, and then I was ready to come home. So came home, and yeah, so that's sports. But we can get into recruiting, all the different things, especially for you all that have children that are looking to get your kid recruited and things like that. I'll kind of get into some of the things you might want to do and that'll help with your kid's recruitment. Obviously, today's day and age, man, I don't even know how you guys are navigating right now because NIL and all that is so new, and the transfer portal has got to be so tough just to get scholarships alone because these coaches are just pulling cats out the portal. And so it's tough. I mean, they just had that ruling for where they give you the extra, the JC years don't count, but it's kind of tough playing at a JC, man, especially in Southern California. These JCs are stacked up, and you might not get as much playing time as you you might want or need. You might be silly and you might not ever get a chance now, but you can get hurt, be crazy, be at a JC for 3 years, man. You damn near 21 coming into regular college considered a freshman. Like it's about to get real crazy. So um, but yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully we can have some people come on and give some more insight eventually later on. But I'm gonna be doing my own thing for a little bit, and then hopefully we can get some of my boys on and we can get it more insight into different things. But yeah, let me know what you want me to speak about. Some of my boys, if you're watching this, comment some stories you want me to tell on here from back in our days, and yeah, but got a lot of good stories that I think would be very very peculiar for you guys, that'll really intrigue you. So stay tuned. But I think that's it for episode 1. So tune in. I don't know what days I'm gonna drop, so whenever I drop, follow my social media. I'll make a new page, Marky Mark Show, or I don't know, something, Marky Mark's Cast. You'll know, I mean, obviously by this time is up, but it'll be on my Instagram for y'all that follow me. But yeah, so all right. Hobbies. My biggest hobby right now that I'm actually able to do because of my body is cars. So those that know me, some of you guys know me through cars. So yeah, I like to do time attack. For those of you that don't know what time attack is, it's like circuit racing. So it's circuit tracks, not like an oval like NASCAR. You actually got to make a bunch of turns and things like that. Kind of like track similar to Formula One, but I can't afford to do ones as nice as those because those is really big. Um, but we have a lot out here in Southern California, so I do that. Am I the best driver? No, but I'm better than most of you guys, and that's all that matters. All right, and I put the effort in, and I'm out there, and it's fun. But it's all about having fun, I used to compete, but I knew I wasn't gonna be competitive because I was out of the game for about three, almost 4 years before I went back into time attack. Kind of got defeated, dumping money into the car, and then I break it, and then transmissions and these things aren't expensive, so it's kind of hurting the wallet and defeated me. So I gave up. I was being a little chump. So, but I'm back out there. I love it. I love cars. I love competing just against myself. I just want to be the best me I can be. And so, just having good friends to go with, it's just a great time. It's a great experience. If you're really into cars and your car, I mean, if you drive like a muscle car, don't go because it's not built for that. But if you're into like cars that are like, you don't need the most, you don't even have to have power like that. But as long as your car handles well and it brakes and you have good tires, you have a good time. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm definitely willing to take you out. You can go with me. We'll go to a track day where you can ride along, even if you don't want to drive your own car, and I'll take you out on some laps and different things like that. But it's real fun. So I'm in the cars personally right now. My two main cars, I have my Honda Civic Type R FK8 Boost Blue. Shout out to the Boost Blue boys. And then I have my 92 JDM Honda NSX. It's a Honda because it's from Japan. I imported that. So a lot of people want to know how to import things and the process and everything. And it was pretty interesting. It was scary as hell wiring, almost half a 6 feet, whatever. We'll get into the price of that. To a whole nother country, and then hoping that a car shows up eventually that you paid for. But yes, I imported my NSX. I bought it back in July. It finally arrived at the port middle of October. So got my NSX. Maybe I'll put some pictures on the screen of my cars. One of them is in shambles right now because I messed it up at the track, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, so cars is one of my biggest passions. I've always loved cars since I was a teenager. So I've been, building my cars, when I was younger, I wasn't building nothing, but one of my boys, Angel, he was doing all the work mainly. But engine swaps, I've been through multiple engine swaps on my first car, 2 paint jobs. Those that know me know I'm very particular with my cars, and I need my car to be mint at all times. I can't like my truck. If it's like a truck, or the car that I really don't care about, and it's a purpose car that's not for, I mean, all my cars have a purpose, but if like my truck, I don't care. Like if a goddamn grocery cart hits my damn truck, I won't bat an eye. I won't even care if you get out and your kid swings the door open and hits my truck. I really won't care that much. You hit my car though, I'm crashing out. So it's bad. But yeah, I'm real particular about my paint. I can't have a car with mismatched paint. You won't see it. The car will sit in the garage until it's ready to get dropped off for paint, or the part that needs to get painted is brought in. So I'm real particular with my cars. I can't have dents. I can't have bad paint. I can't have mismatched paint, things like that. So I drive my NSX, but I haven't driven it that often lately. So I'm waiting for some parts to come in so I can drop it off and get it painted. Is the paint bad? No. But to me, it's bad. So it irritates me. And when it irritates me, I can't sleep. I lose sleep. And I need it. So I got some big things in store for that car. It's going to be crazy once it's done. Hopefully, my wife's not listening. But if you actually knew how much money I spent, it's bad. She'd probably kill me. But yeah, I'm cooked. But hopefully, I'll run into some money, Donation link in my bio. Not really, I don't. But if any of y'all want to invest and just give me some money, I'll take a handout. I'm old enough to say yes, sure. If you want to give me your money, cool. But yeah, so maybe I'll take you to one of my boys' shops, give you a tour. One of my boys just got a bigger shop right now. He's going to be doing some big things, Visual Auto Mart. So whatever work you need done, you can get it done there. But yeah, it's one of my guys. We go to the track all the time. But yeah, so we get in the cars, different things. We know, who knows? Maybe we'll do some vlogs and different things like that. So we'll see. We'll see how much time I have, and how much you guys are interested. Maybe I'll do a sub channel for the car stuff. So it's funny, I have a car Instagram and a lot of people don't know about. Some people do, because that's the only way you could really find me before, using my name and stuff like that. But yeah, I made a car Instagram because like people don't care about cars and my regular followers. So I made my own Instagram page where I can post my cars and not have to worry about like likes or things like that. It was just, it was just for me type account. But I've met a lot of great people since then. So it's kind of cool. And, I try to post as much as I can. Not really. I mean, I'm lazy. But I just post what I post, I don't overthink things like that. You know, but I love my cars. I love my cars. I love taking pictures of my cars. I have hundreds of pictures, if not thousands of pictures of my cars. I haven't even posted them. I take it up, I'm gonna post this, and then I never post it. So my bad. But I could add some great build videos on my cars. There's been a lot, so maybe I'll do a couple walkarounds and break down my builds, because you can see them, but there's a lot of intricate things in every single one of those 2 cars that are very detailed, and there's some of them have stories and parts that I got while I was in Japan. So both those cars are really sentimental to me. So every time I think about selling one, well, I would never sell the NSX. You have to pry it out of my cold dead hands, but the Civic is really sentimental to me. So we'll get into that. I have some things coming for that car too, so we'll see. But yeah, cars is my thing. So let me know what you want to hear about in the comments about cars. I'll tell you, we can go into whatever stories. I have some good stories about picking up parts, some sketch stuff. I don't even know if I want to tell that. Shout out to Taco Nazo. If you know, you know. Maybe I'll tell that story. Maybe I won't. I probably won't. But yeah, so we'll see. Stay tuned.